Dear Lord, these next few moments, please use me as a vessel to convey your word and your message and your love to these people. Bless the ears that are listening to them, and I ask that you bless this entire congregation. And it's in your name we pray.
Amen.
So I got here about 10:30 this morning, and I was reading over the gospel, and I found out that it is not what Pastor gave me to prepare for today. So I'm just going to give you all what she gave me to prepare. That's what I'm going to talk about today. So where we start, whenever I was reading what I had prepared, there were some words in it that really brought one specific event in time in mind. Does anybody know anything significant that happened in Rio de Janeiro in 2016? Does anybody know what might have been happening there at that time that year? You know, Jonathan?
The Olympic Games.
That's exactly right. So the Summer Olympic Games were taking place in Rio. As y'all know, the Olympics happen every 2 years, alternating between the Winter and Summer Olympics. And this year was the Summer Olympics. And whenever the Olympic Games were created, it was thought in mind that the best athletes from every country in the world would all come together in one place for just a little amount of time to pretty much just compete and see who really is the best in the world. And that idea started so long ago. And with that being said, that also means that there are people all over the world coming to spectate, to sit in these arenas, and also there's millions, I'm sure billions across the world that watch it on their TVs now. So it's 2016 in Rio, in the middle of the summer, and the women's 5,000 meter race is taking place. And to us here in America, that's 3.2 miles, just about. But it was the women's 5,000, and they're in this massive arena. The arena is packed full. Everybody's watching on TV. There's cameramen, there's photographers, there's hundreds of thousands of spectators in this arena. And they're all coming to watch this 5,000 meter race. And so watching on TV, the cameraman is going down the starting lineup, and it's each runner, and it's their name and which country that they're representing. And something interesting that the reporter said, who was commentating the event, he said, all eyes will be on Ethiopian Almaz Ayana. And she was the one coming into this that had just the most momentum coming into here. She's the one that everybody's expecting to win, so all eyes are on her. And with this race, it was the first out of 3 races, so this was the first heat. So that means the top 5 runners were going to move on to chase that gold medal. Because that's really what the Olympics is all about, chasing that gold and seeing who the best of the best is. So, the race takes place, the gunshot goes off, and the runners are out. And it's a massive track. And they're going down the tail end, and it's the first lap. And right as they're going around the corner, I'm sure if y'all know, whenever these runners are going, they're in a very, very close group. They're so close together, leaving no room for error. Well, Nikki Hamblin, she was a runner from New Zealand. She's running a little bit too close to the inside of the track, and her shoe catches wrong in the paint, and she goes down. And it's a nasty fall. And while she's falling, she clips with her head the heel of Abby D'Agostino, who is from America. So the both of them go down, and they're towards the back of the pack, and it really was a bad fall. But when that happened, Hamblin was the one that caused the fall, but D'Agostino gets up after she fell down and turned around and helped Hamblin up to her feet. And they continue on with the race. And that right there was an amazing thing that happened. It wasn't really, okay, I've got to keep on going. She just made me fall, forget her. No. She turned around and helped her to her feet. Well, they're going around the track a little bit more, and D'Agostino begins to realize that she is hurt much worse than what she thought she was. You can just see it on her face, just the amount of just grief and pure agony from the pain that she was in. And she begins to start walking, and she's limping really bad, and her ankle just completely caves in on itself. And she goes down, and she goes down hard. She is really, really hurt herself. She's down on the ground, and she's down in the fetal position, just grabbing that ankle, and you can see it on her face how much pain she is going through. And it was in that moment that the competition of the Olympics and the fight for the gold and doing this for my country and the will to win, it was all thrown out the window. In that moment, Nikki Hamblin turns around and she walks back to her open arms and lifts her up. And she lifts up D'Agostino and she puts her underneath her shoulder. And she is carrying her, saying, come on, we've got to finish this. And at this point, the crowd is just going nuts. Because this is what the true Olympic spirit is. It's the true just spirit of these top-tier athletes, but they're helping each other. And, it was at that moment, they're running, and eventually Hamlin continues on because D'Agostino has kind of got her feet back underneath her. And that same runner that was from Ethiopia, Ayana, she was literally running circles around them. She was lapping these runners, but nobody cared. Nobody cared. No longer were the eyes all on her, but they were on this miracle that just happened on this track. And that was so incredible because, if that were not the case and she was lapping it, it would have been like, oh my gosh, she's the best runner out here. But nobody really cared about her anymore. They cared about what just happened in front of them that they knew was going to make instant history. So, both runners, they finished. They were last and second to last. They were the last two out of 17 runners to finish the race. And whenever they finished, they were just pouring in tears of grief, agony, pain, but I think most of all, joy. They were crying because they made it to the finish and they overcame that obstacle of being brought down. And Hamlin finished first, and whenever D'Agostino crossed the line, she was the last. I don't think I've ever heard a crowd cheer so loud for somebody who came in last place. But Hamlin was there at the finish line with her arms open, and as soon as D'Agostino finished that race, they just embraced themselves. And it was just so amazing to see that what Hamlin did to D'Agostino by bringing her down, that didn't matter. That she was the first one to greet her on that finish line. And they're just hugging it out and they're crying, and it's just overwhelming. I think that's the best word to describe this with. It's just overwhelming. And I was watching an interview with D'Agostino, and she told the reporter that she felt a hand on her shoulder while she was on the ground. She felt a hand pick her up, and she heard a voice say, get up, we have to finish this. And then she said, the most amazing part was, I've never met her before. So she had no idea who this runner was, but all she knew was that she was helping her up. And in the gospel that I was reading over and preparing for, there were so many words that reminded me of this. There was the sentence, by your endurance you will gain your lives. Running is all about endurance. Anytime you're talking to a runner, they're always saying, I'm always going with my endurance. Especially in a 5,000 meter race. It's not about how fast you are, but how strong you are and how strong your endurance is. Another one is see that you are not led astray. That's another thing with running, that you're going down the right track and that you're not going off, and that you're running down the right track. And then I will give you something that none of your adversaries will be able to withstand or contradict. And to me, that was whenever the reporter said, all eyes will be on Paul as I run. But then something happened that none of the other runners could have contradicted or come up against of that miracle that happened right there. And then all eyes were on him. And then the last one was, Jerusalem will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles. That's what this entire story is about, being trampled and being brought down. And that entire story can be used as a metaphor. The life, that's the racetrack. The racetrack is our lives, and then we're all running on it every single day. And all of the runners around us, those are our colleagues, our peers, our friends, maybe even our competition, like competition at the workplace, or whatever it may be. But that is everybody else living their lives around us. In the fall, we all have it. We all have it. Everybody in the Bible, we all have falls. But that is falling down and struggling. And that can be addiction, lies, drunkenness, and any other sin. That's what that is. That is sin bringing us down. And that feeling, whenever we're down, getting in that fetal position and just saying, I'm so hurt. I have no motivation to get up. I'm content where I'm at right now. That's the devil saying, it's okay to stay here. You don't have to get back up. You can lay here, and you can be happy in your sorrow and in your pity, and you can continue to grieve. That's nothing but the devil telling us to do that. That's all he wants us to do. But then that hand on the shoulder, not saying that you have to finish, but we have to finish, that's nothing but God. That's God lifting us up, picking us up whenever we're so low. And He's picking us up and putting Him underneath our shoulder and letting us use Him as a crutch to say, come on, we have to finish this. And eventually, He goes on and He lets us do the race ourselves, knowing that He's always going to be there to pick us up whenever we need Him to. But that is nothing but Him. And then, whenever we do finish that race, He's there at the finish line with His arms wide open, welcoming us, say, welcome, brother, sister, daughter, son, you finished. You finished your race, and he's there as the first person that we see when we do finish that race, with his arms wide open. Something that D'Agostino said in a later report that really was inspirational was, she said this about the race. And they asked her about, what made you want to continue on? Because you can just choose to not finish. You can did not finish and be in a race like this. And she said, my country didn't send me here just to race. They sent me here to finish. And that's what God has done. He didn't send us here just to go about our daily lives and just run mindlessly around the track. He sent us here to do a race and to worship and glorify His name, and then we finish strong. Something that was awesome about this, like I told y'all, with this race, was the top 5 runners that went on to compete, but the Olympics let these 2 women go on and compete in the final heat. And that's just what this is all about. It's no matter what happens, we get back up and we can rely on God, and that He's going to get us through this, and that we can finish our race strong, and that He's going to be there at the end with His open arms saying, welcome home, you finished your race. Amen.